Hello and welcome to this presentation. My name is Lee Snyder, the product manager for the steel segment here at Trimble. And what I'll be showing is a tutorial of how to export the categories from the organizer to use those in Trimble Connect Mobile. This export to Trimble Connect from the organizer is available in our workflow tools. So to get started, the first thing that you'll need to do is go to the Tekla warehouse and make sure you install the workflow tools for Tekla structures. This will include this export from the organizer, and it also includes the status sharing. So to verify that you have it installed, you can check your applications and components catalog, see if the status sharing option is here. You'll also see the new export in the organizer, which I'll show here in a minute. The other thing that you need to do to get started is you need to link your Tekla Structures project to your Trimble Connect project. So the way that we do that is through using the Trimble connector, which is available. So I just went to File, Export, down to Trimble Connect. And then if you're not already logged in, it'll prompt you to log in. And then you'll have the ability to come in and attach your project in Tekla Structures to your Trimble Connect project. So I'll scroll through this list and find my categories example, which is what we're going to use for this tutorial. And then once I've linked that, then I can just minimize that. I don't need to use that again. And now to export these categories, I'll just come over to Manage and launch the organizer. So for this, I'll just go ahead and choose Synchronize just to make sure everything's up to date. I also have the option to synchronize before I run my export, but I'll just go ahead and do this now just to make sure everything's good to go. So here in the organizer, I have the basic categories which are included in the out-of-the-box localization for the steel roll in the U.S. Imperial environment. So I have my steel assemblies, my secondary parts, bolt groups, welds, component information. And then I've also gone through and I've added information here on this campus project for the site. I have building A, and those are organized into sections and floors, and then the same thing on building B. So this is the information that I want to export so that I can use in Trimble Connect Mobile. So down here at the very bottom where it says export or import categories, once you have the workflow tools installed, you'll see this new option which is publish to Trimble Connect. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that. Again, it's going to verify that I'm logged into Trimble Connect. It's going to verify that I've linked to a project using the Trimble connector. And then here it'll give me the options of the categories that I want to export, and this will align with what I see over here in the organizer. So I'm going to come in and export this campus, my steel assemblies, my secondary parts, and I'm just going to choose that for now. And then here's the option to synchronize the categories before export. And then once I do that, I can just click on Update Categories to Trimble Connect. It's going to automatically send that to my Trimble Connect project because I'm connected to the internet. And then once that's done, it will say that this has been successfully published. I'll click OK. And now I can begin using that over on the Trimble Connect mobile side. So what I'll do is I'll launch the reflector, which will allow me to share my iPad screen onto my desktop so that you can see what I'm doing here. So I have that set up. So we'll go into Trimble Connect Mobile, and then here's my category example project. I'm just going to go ahead and view the 3D model. And then if there are categories in a project, they're automatically going to show up in this icon that you can see down here. So if there are no categories, you won't see that. If there are categories that have been shared or published, then you'll see that. And what this allows us to do is to more easily consume the model or use the model information from Tekla Structures into Trimble Connect Mobile. So if I go ahead and click on the categories button, then I'll be able to see the categories that we exported from the organizer. So I'll just go ahead and click on campus. And again, this is going to begin to show us the list of all of this information that we saw before. So here you can see I have building A, then I have building B, and all these different categories that I can scroll through. And then I can just simply choose the one that I want to see. So let's say we want to go in building A and we want to see the first floor information. I'll just choose that category. And then that's the information that it's going to filter out for me here in this view. And then if I want to drill down further, I can hit the categories button again. For example, I could go to steel assemblies and then choose beams. And then it's going to just isolate the beams that are there within that specific category that I filtered. So I can continue to filter this using the organizer information as deeply as I need to go. So now if I want to reset this information, I can just choose this button here. That will then populate the model, and I'll choose the button right next to it, which will fit everything to my screen. And then I can choose another example. So let's go back here to the category. I'll choose campus, and we could go down to building B, and I'll just choose this section 4. That will then filter out this information that you can see there on the screen. One last one, we'll just go ahead and reset, show the entire model, go back to our categories. I can see here in my steel assemblies, let's say we want to quickly filter out all of the columns or whatever I have in that category. Once I click on that, my view will update, and that's all that I'm looking at there. And then I can go through and inquire on these pieces. I can status them or whatever I may need to do. But what this allows me to do is to export the categories created in Tekla Structures, to use those in Trimble Connect Mobile to more easily consume or use the model, making it easier for me to navigate and filter things. So as mentioned before, this is part of the workflow tools that's available for download on the Tekla Warehouse. We'd invite you to try it out, send us any feedback that you may have, and we hope you enjoy this new development.